WesWes Show.
All right, welcome everybody to another episode of the NT Up the Clip podcast, the EOTC. My name is Cams, and I'm here in the heart of West Auckland with the brothers in the house, Leti and Eddie. What's up, my usos?
Yo, what's up, Bruce?
How are you?
It's good, man. It's good to be back. It's good to see you guys again. You know the drill. Let's do some shout-outs. Let's go, Eddie.
Man, got a few shout-outs just to my listening boys. My brothers Leo, Don, and Waki, Westside Fitness. Just want to make a shout-out to one of my brother-in-laws, Hida McClutchy. He started up Deep South Auckland kickboxing. So, he's trying to focus on the youth out there. He's, posting up videos. He's on Instagram if you want to check him out. And just a shout-out to my young nephew, Jonas. Had a chat to him. He's doing good in rugby and football out in the Orkney Islands in Scotland. So he's doing quite well. So, yeah. And that's my shout-outs, man. Over to you, Let's.
First of all, I want to shout out to my uso Noka. It's funny because he messaged me last week that he was having a laugh at our first part of our pod last week. And he said he liked how he seen me look frustrated. I said, so it's probably the AI's editing us. But shout out to my brain, man. It's been a minute since we've spoken. Another one's to my doggo Mickey. I think it was Tuesday. He gave him a call. He just got back from Bali. Interesting hearing him talk about Bali and how everything was far away, but it was money well spent. Shout out to him and his wife, Gayleen. Another one's to my bro, Elliot. Haven't seen him. Hadn't seen him for a while. He popped in for a late last minute cut. It was on Thursday night. So caught up with him. He had a wedding this weekend. It's good to catch up with our boys since my 40th day. Feels like it's been a while. And another shout out to my daughter Kyle. It was pretty flat hearing a result that she won the school speeches. Yeah, that's a tradition in our house now. My wife won it when she was at school. My oldest won it when she was at school. My girl that's at Avondale won it, and now she won it. But she was supposed to have done it at the last assembly, which was on Friday. But she said they ran out of time. But I'm looking forward to going to the Lions dinner because I've never been. Even when the other kids won, they took my parents and my in-laws went the other time. So I'm grateful that I can go this time. So yeah, shout outs to her. And my last one's to my older brother, my deaf brother. I haven't seen him for ages, man. But the last time I heard, he crashed his car. And we've been meaning to have them over for lunch. But yeah, it's just one of those things. Keeps getting busy or someone's broke or no one's available. But I'll probably try and have my family here next weekend now that I've been doing work on the deck at the back. Well, that wraps up my shout outs. What about you, Cams?
Thanks, usos. Yeah, man, just normal shout-outs to everyone that's listening to the WesWes Network content on Spotify and on our YouTube channel as well. Spotify, you can find all our podcasts. You can click on our website as well, www.weswesnet.com. You can find all our podcasts there. You can also find our WesWes Sports magazine, blog magazine. It's on our website. Just click on that icon at the top of the screen and you can read the latest edition. So it's out monthly. So a new edition will be out next week, start of the new month of October. Just thinking about that day, October, man, where did the year go? It's like, man, it's going to be November, Christmas. What the? I think the more years you go older, the more faster the years go. So, man, just gearing up for that. But, yeah, man, thanks for everyone to tune in. Don't forget our Facebook page for our new Empty Out the Clip. So if you want to ask any questions or want us to talk about something, going to throw some articles on our group Facebook page. That's the Empty Out the Clip EOTC group Facebook page. It's private. So all you got to do is jump in, answer the free questions, and we'll let you in. And your chance to have a say. And we'll shout you out on the podcast. Okay, boys. Sweet, man. Before we get into our topics, we'll find out what's been going on during the week. So how's your week, Eddie?
No, week's been good. Just upping the intensity when it comes to my rehab. So just doing some exercises to strengthen my knee and quads. So just been busy doing that. It's pretty sore, but trying to push my leg out of that comfort zone. Trying to get back into the normal routine because I work a lot of hours and I'm on my feet all the time. So I really need the the physio to work. yeah, just been doing that. Been spending a lot of time with some of my boys. One of them's going through a difficult time, so just been video chatting with him nearly every night. Just spending time with him, focusing on him, get that positive impact on him. So yeah, me and the boys are come together to try and look after him for a bit. But he's doing quite well. Also, I just want to take time to make a little shout out to some of the people that have been commenting on our videos. So big shout out to Vailima49, showing a lot of support in all our videos. And like Cam said before, wanted to shout out to No One Is Right All the Time, asking for us to do some issues that affect daily people on a weekly basis. So, man, just jump onto the Facebook page, like Cam said, and just post up some of the articles that you want us to chat about, and we'll try our best to check it on. But yeah, that's been my week. How about you, Let's?
Bro, work's funny, eh? Like, work can be, like, under the pump. And then it can be just dead flat, fucking nothing to do. And it gets to the point, like, just when I feel like I'm finding my rhythm, like, oh, sweet, we got stuff sorted for the day. It's nothing on, bro. We're just walking around or trying to look busy. Yeah, man. So it's just made me want to look for another job because, bro, I just can't do it, eh? And above all of that, the time start, like I signed up for an afternoon job and, like, or graveyard job. Like, I want to be able to spend time with my son, and this is not it at the moment, eh? So now I managed to have Friday off. They actually said Thursday late in the afternoon, oh, hey, you might not be any production, but you'll be cleaning. And there's only so much cleaning you can do, right? Because fuck, bro, I had blisters on my hands from cleaning, man. So I was like, oh, I want to give my hands malolo, because, mate, no one likes to use hands that, ew, like, you got rough hands. Like, but can you imagine, like, you start, you have a bath, right? Your hands being in the bath, soaking, but then that skin starts to peel. But it's when your hands are dry, bro, and how sensitive that skin becomes. Like, even, like, you forget how much you actually place your hands down, eh? I was in pain that much. Like, when I drove home, fuck, I had a couple of slits over my fingers. So when I was driving, I couldn't put my hands on the steering wheel properly, man. And when I woke up the next day, my hands were fuller, man. So I'm glad I stayed home on Friday, man. Just had a bit of a timeout, and I did a bit of painting outside, man. And shout out to my little girl, man. My girl, Kyle. She helped me put up some steel sheets along the side of the deck. But yeah, it's just her being able to read the measure tape.
Yeah.
Because I can tell you, man, I've been on a few job sites and I've been to a few places where you tell someone to cut a piece of papa, and they don't know how to read the tape. So when they bring it to you, fucking you hang it up and it's freaking short. But it's like, are you sure? So they usually measure the tape. They got the measurement right, but they actually cut on the actual measurement instead of, going a couple of mil to the right of the line. So now, so her measuring yesterday on the corrugated steel was pretty bang on. So happy that I managed to put up a couple of, it was like 4 sheets yesterday. On Friday, and then I valued them yesterday. So it's just good to have help around the house, especially because my hands are freaking sore, like trying to.
Especially cutting.
Well, shout out to my brother-in-law, man. Like, I didn't realize that because when he done the sleep out, like, he didn't have an angle grinder. He was cutting everything by hand. And I was like, fuck, is that how they do it? So I remember I did a builder's course years, like probably when I was still at school, how to cut the corrugated sheets, and it's just snipping both ends. And you put a straight edge down and you put your foot over it and then you rip it. And it usually cuts straight. Yesterday, when I was trying to cut it, I must have, because my hands were already pretty gazed up, I was like, fuck. I was just telling my daughter, stand on that side and I'll pull it. And then sure enough, I had a couple of crooked bits, but I'm just grateful that when I went to intermediate, the Mr. Jamison taught us how to use the rivet gun to make spatulas. It's funny, eh? And like that was pretty much all we used, and that's all my brother-in-law used was the tin snips and and a river gun, man. So I actually bought my own river gun, and I got my daughter to. I drilled the holes. My daughter put the rivets in, and she just, crimped them and snapped them up. But it was funny. I went to the toilet, came back. She put like 3 inside the sheet, and I had them binded the sheets together. So when I picked it up, I was like, "Oh, nice decoration there." Eh? So I had to do another couple more just to hang the sheet. But nah, all in the learning, man. Nah, nothing much. This weekend I managed to do my lawns. My lawns look pretty sicky. Yeah, and then I did kongai today, so yeah, our family's been mighty, man. I don't know who brought it into the house. But yeah, my son, my daughter, and my wife. And yeah, it's pretty. It's pretty dead in the house, because everyone's either lying down sleeping. But I went to Pack and Save last night with my youngest, Lincoln Red, and it's good, eh? Like, it's just 2 people in there. Should we get that? Nah. And so I'm big on yogurts at the moment, man. And she is too. Nikita, she made some granola, man. I don't know if you know what granola is, but it's like when you just roast a whole lot of like stuff with honey. So it was like oats, I think it was a bit of pretzels, some peanuts, and some almonds. She roasted it on a flat sheet, break it all up, and then we had it with yogurt last night. So that's been our dessert for the last few nights. But nah, I got up and I made a raw fish last night. But man, this is how Valea is. This is how long it's been. I did a raw fish. Some people aren't used to that maka taste of fish. But I am to me, like every time I used to go to my auntie's, she'd go, "Oh, that's still fresh, babe." And I'll just eat it. Just my son, yeah. But my wife, she's not used to eating the fish like that. She's used to having like the tomatoes and the lemon juice over the, so it's almost like pre-cooked. Then you chuck in the coconut cream in that. So here's me oblivious to it, and I was like, "Oh shit, my wife ain't gonna like this." Then I was like, "Oh man, we got any lemons?" But sure enough, there's a lemon inside the veggie, but it's probably been sitting there for about 3 months. And just squeeze it over it. Yeah, put the lid on it, chuck it in the fridge, should be fine. So now me and my wife had raw fish for breakfast this morning. And then I did our kongai today. Some chicken hearts and some marinated chicken nibbles, and then a kale moa. So should be good enough for today and tomorrow's dinner.
Yo.
But yeah, man, just sucks here because like there's no energy in the house when everyone's sick.
Everyone's sick.
Yeah, man. But you, Camps, how's your week?
Yeah, man, a pretty tiring week. Honestly, man, I've been tired. Like, don't know if it was jet lag or been from a trip or whatever. There's no jet lag, but the trip takes a lot out of you. You don't realize until you're back at work. And that first day, you think about that first day every time you come back from a long trip. That first day is hard. That first day, it feels like 2 days. You're working double shift. But all week, man, I've been tired. And I was just reflecting on it. Reflecting on it, thinking, man, if I'm tired just because I took 1 week off when overseas, come back, and I'm tired from that. Is it old age, or is it like just the longevity of being at that same job for over 20 years? Is doing the same old shit and thinking. Because when you're on your trip, you don't do anything. You're just like relaxing, and you just wish this stays on forever. And you still get paid, but it doesn't work in the real world. But it makes you think. It makes you think, like, man, is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Like, just listening to you, Litz, about how you're feeling at your job right now. It's probably like the same ballpark of feelings I have. Like, there's got to be something better, There's got to be something better to spend your time. It has to be, man. It has to be. But we just used to like just working because our parents were hard workers. But this new generation, they're finding new ways of doing stuff. Like, there's things you hear about people quitting their jobs and leaving or doing something else. But it's never in our minds because we grew up with our parents, and our parents just straight and narrow hard workers, man. But
it's crazy. It's crazy you say that also, straight up. Because when I was doing the grass yesterday, and like me and my neighbor, we have these like monthly chats. But it's pretty much you chuck everything you've been thinking and feeling like for the last few months in this chat. And he just got back from the Gold Coast. It was 10 days away, Sunshine Coast, close to the beach. And he told me he was going on this trip. Bro, he literally came to the gate and goes, I'm selling my house. I was like, oh, shit. So he said, yeah, I'm selling the house. Going to sell my cars. Going to sell the boat, the jet ski and that. Yeah, fuck this place, man. I've been doing... So he's got a job done at the marina now, and he said it's not what he thought it was. He has run-ins with his boss all the time. And he's just like, fuck it. Like, what's the stress here, man? I was going to go coast, start on some better money, no debt, and we'll just go. But when I was like taken back, like from hearing him say that, and in my head I was thinking, bro, and I thought I had in my job, bro, but if that's the go, shit. No, wishing him all the best, man. But yeah, he's probably gonna let us know when he decides to go there. But I feel you, bro, when you say that in your thoughts though, like you just came back from your trip, and is this it? Like, is this like where's the push play for the next part? Like the next shift. I was like, oh.
Especially when you come back from the islands, because you
you
know what the island style is like. You know what island time is, and you don't really click at a young age. We just go there for holiday, have fun, and come back into the grind. But when you go over back home, back to the motherland as an adult, or when you've done some stuff, you go back and you see their lifestyle, and you think, man, these guys are happy. Like they don't have to worry about a lot of things we worry about back in New Zealand. Even if you go to Australia, it's still the same things. You just get more money, but it's still the same problems, right?
Yeah,
it's still the same stress. It's still the same things. But when I go to Samoa now and look at how everybody lives, it's not all that, but they're happy, And they don't get good internet over there. You don't get better technology over there. They're way behind technology there, but you don't need it. You can look past all that, and you don't need all that. You can just have a good life. You can just relax and all that kind of stuff. No stress. I go there and I always think about, man, I've got to come back home to the grind. Back to the old shit. And my cousins are there telling me, like, man, you got to pay all your bills. You got stress over there. Over here, nah, man, there's nothing like that here. So it is what you make it over there. And I don't know. I just feel like I come back to New Zealand and back to the grind. It's like, okay, there has to be a better way. It has to be a better way.
I think they just don't have like when you're in New Zealand, man, there's so many issues that face us there, so many pressures over here. When we go over there, it's like it's mentally refreshing, just seeing how they're quite carefree. You know what I mean? Like they don't worry about the small things. Like the things they worry about basically is church. Like, they got to wake up early for church, and like, man, like, you live in a country where you just like go outside and you can see the water. That's crazy. Over here, man, like brick buildings, like, man, it's different. Like the mentality's different. Society's different back home. It's like they're in their own little bubble. I think you mentioned it before, how when you were there, you didn't see anything about the news and whatnot about like Ukraine and Gaza and all that. Like they're just in their own little bubble. And man, I hope that the Pacific does stay like that, because it's a nice retreat.
Yeah. No, it was good to actually do nothing, And then you just want to do nothing again when you come home, but you can't do that. But yeah, man, all week I was thinking about that. Just come home and just think about it, because, like I said, back in the grind, and because of that, I think that's why I'm tired. I'm just tired. I just wanted it to be Christmas and have holiday. But then when I think about that, I think, man, we're only off for 2 weeks. Like, damn, go start the whole year all over again. It's like, fuck. It has to be. I'm always thinking there has to be a better way. But no, man, just what I do yesterday. Oh yeah, just I had no plans yesterday, so took the family out to go downtown. So went downtown to check out what's new down at the viaduct. Just walk around and go for a walk, and go to Commercial Bay, go to the mall down there, just have a look around, and then had lunch at Whalburgers that I'm gonna do a food review on later on in the episode. But yeah, man, just had a lunch out there on the waterfront there, and then it was about 2:00, I think. The Auckland game was on the biggest screen there, Auckland Hawke's Bay. Didn't get to watch the whole thing, but I heard Auckland lost by 1 point in the end. It was a close game. It was a high scoring game too. And then no one wanted to go home, so I said, "Oh, let's go for a ride. Let's go to Manoa Bay." So we drove down there. It was about 4 o'clock We drove from town up to the airport to check out the new mall. Just had a walk around there, had a coffee there. So it was like exercise, Just walk around, like just walk around the mall, and then check out a few things, and then yeah, man, jumped back in the car and came back home. So yeah, it was a good day to be out and about. And that was my week. Had a good week.
Nice.
Have you guys checked out their mall yet?
Just heard on the news about the traffic being pretty bad around the airport.
Yeah, no, I heard the same. I called my cousin. He works at my old job, and I was asking him because I sold my Coke shares, and yeah, he was like saying I was just catching up with him, and he said, man, because he drives out from Avondale, Blockhouse Bay to go to work, and he goes, bro, because he pretty much dodged a bullet with the building of that new mall, because there's only one way into work to Verosme, unless you're getting off at it's Messy Road, but like fucking traffic's always hectic, man. You know, you end up waiting like almost 20 minutes just to get off. So nah, scary thoughts, like, because you know how it's the 80 zone from just under the underpass, and then it's 80 all the way, and it's like, bro, the only guys that can take the inside lane, I think it's just the trucks and the buses. But like, yeah, I remember trying sitting in that bus lane just to indicate go left at that last set of lights. But I knew it was a wise thing to do, because bro, everyone's indicating going left. I was like, hey, you are not even a bus, mate. Shuttle.
Yeah. So, boys, let's get into our topic. So, first one we're going to talk about today is a story you posted up, Eddie, on Catholic priests, man. Because, man, it's been well documented, and I think it came out in the 80s or 90s, that a lot of dodgy shit been happening with Catholic priests, especially in America. I think if there's a movie about it called Spotlight, and it's about the newspaper that broke the story. Broke the story that there was a Catholic priest that got sort of in trouble for sexual abuse to the altar boys, the altar boys, and the Catholic Church, they cover it up by sending them to another church down the line. And apparently they've been doing that for a long time. They've been doing that for a few Catholic priests, and they broke the story, and it was a big PR thing that gave Catholic Church a bad name. I think Rome and the Vatican tried to cover it up, and all that kind of stuff. And it was big news, and everyone was just like shocked about it, and the whole world was wondering if there's sort of Catholic priests were at our churches, like
Facts.
sort of thing. So I don't know what happened to the story. It died down because this is back in the 90s, and like don't know if it's still going on or what's happening. If anyone got charged or not, I don't know. But then you posted that story up. So recently they found out that some of these priests that were been moving around, that were in trouble for sexual abuse, being sent to the Pacific Islands, man.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, what the hell, man? And you know what? I was thinking, okay, I was probably not surprised, because if you read the article, it was talking about how if you want to hide a priest, what better place to hide them is in the Pacific Islands, where it's like isolated, and it's like there's a low probability that in the Pacific Islands they'll complain, because of all the whole cultural thing around Christianity and all that, like respect your elders and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's a bit disturbing, but man, I wasn't surprised, but at the same time I was like disgusted, like damn, like it's straight away, like the Western world still regards us as the bottom of the barrel. So the thing ain't like, oh, we'll dump these priests over here, treat us like shit like that, So that's the first thing that came to my mind. But yeah, man, what are you guys' thoughts?
Oh man, like I did like a little bit of a deep dive on this, man. It was pretty crazy. It's like I think it's like 89 to 95% of the Pacific identify as Christian or Catholic, or a subgroup domination. So like domination, sorry. So like, the priest can camouflage anywhere in the Pacific, man. And like in some villages, the priest doesn't even need to go to get food. Like the village will provide the me'ai, will provide the food, and often will build like a house for them. So it's a pretty clever move on the church's part to try and cover up. But these these priests are coming from the UK, the USA, Australia, and New Zealand, and they're not just being sent to the Pacific. They're sent to like the kind of like isolated outposts, so even like the local police can't really get to them properly. So like they're not being sent to Apia or Nuku'alofa. They're being sent to like the offshoot places, like even like different islands. But this guy called Felix Fremlin, he complained to his dad about a priest that was, touching him in certain ways, and like his dad got angry at him and gave him a hiding instead of confronting the priest. So that just shows like the mentality of the Pacific. Like, we always protect the church, because that's our faith. That's one of the building blocks of our nations.
And
And
that's what I say. Like that's what they're taking advantage of.
exactly, they're using that loophole. Also, like, man, the kids and our villages are now vulnerable. We're exposing our kids to this, and like, man, it's pretty sad. And like, even the local bishops that heard about this were trying to find out which priests they were. But some of these priests belong to like old orders, so the order will protect the person even against the local diocesan. So it's like, it's like these priests are well covered, man, and even the local priests don't want them there. But man, 30 priests across all the Pacific nations, man, that's worrying, man. And just like, what does that show about the Catholic Church showing respect to the islands when the islands show them so much respect? We show so much whaloalo and whātā more towards them, and yet in return they basically dumped them. Yeah, that's a good word to use. Yeah, they dumped them in the Pacific. Yeah. So it's a real sticky situation that the church needs to rectify. Otherwise, they're gonna lose the islands as a big supporter. How about you, Let's?
Man, that's almost like just opened up a real dark scenario of many things, eh? Because if you think about like the acts of all these grown ass men, and then for it to be just swept aside, like think about the trauma that they would have caused to those kids if they would never believe. Like if no one believed them, these kids would have carried that shit on. They would have then become adults and then started that stuff in their own families, and that becomes that. Oh, we won't talk about it. Yeah, and then they send those kids away, the ones affected by it. They've just continued something that they've gone and started. It's sickening, eh? It's sickening, but it's not right. It's not right that they've that the church is protecting them. But this is the sort of stuff that makes you not want to believe in going to mass and stuff. Especially when you know of like ministers that have gone out and then they've gone out to so and so's become a minister because this minister's told them, oh hey, this priest is someone that looked out for me. Like they make a lot of like movies and programs about it now, and it's almost like when you watch them, you don't want to believe like how they portray the priest in the church, but then you see it unfold, and then you can understand. Oh man, that's probably why that person has become that way. It was something that they went through as a kid. If I had my way, all those guys would be. It's like take a bullet or drown them, man. Because that's something that part of humanity that's should never have made its way towards the Pacific, man. Like, man, the innocence, right? Because our people and our Pacific people are so innocent, so pure, that why go and infest out a place so beautiful like that, especially into something that they could believe. Like, that's wrong, man. I mean, the closest thing to New Zealand would be what happened at Dilworth with all those boys, and like even watching some of that stuff that came out on Close Up, like that was pretty tough to watch, man. And
Heartbreaking,
bro, that's enough to make you have a different perspective of what guys have went through, especially like. Yeah, you can only imagine that in the Pacific, right? Especially like after being fed and being groomed like a king, and then you go and do that sick shit. Oh, that's wrong. Yeah, it's upsetting.
See, I'm not. I never grew up Catholic. My parents are Catholic. They're Methodist, but I don't want to offend any Catholics out there that are listening. But with everything that's been going on in the media throughout the years on this topic, on this sad story of the Catholic priests and that, and all these films are coming out to reenact like what happened in that. I think there was one thing I read somewhere about the history of it all. Like, I think when it comes to Christianity, like the history of it, I think we learned some of it at school. But there was that split when Christianity split to different churches when the priest could actually have a wife. In the other Christian religion, whereas being a Catholic priest, they changed that rule like centuries ago. Like back then, like Catholic priests, they could have a wife. Then they changed the rules. I don't know when, but it was ages ago. And then I think this is the outcome of it all. If you make your decision to be a Catholic priest, you can't have a wife. You have to be celibate, right, for the rest of your life. And for years of men being Catholic priests, like if you put two and two together, like something is bound to happen. Like over the years, and maybe this is the consequence of that decision of Catholic priests aren't allowed to be married. Whereas any other Christian religion, like Methodist or AOG or whatever it is, and like the minister is allowed to have a wife, allowed to have a family, that they can grow up like that. So maybe there's a connection there. I don't know, but maybe the Catholic Church could change the rule. If they changed the rule before, can't they change the rule again in this modern times? Even though it's been centuries of the same old thing. It's just one of those things, that's for me like the history of it all. And the outcome of it is it's pretty interesting, but it's pretty dark as well.
Yeah, because I grew up a Catholic, so still am a Catholic, and like with priests and nuns, when they choose to abstain, it's like they're picking a higher path of enlightenment in our church. It's like they're so into their faith 100% that they've chosen celibacy. Yeah, temptation, maybe a factor. My auntie was a nun. I had cousins that have devoted themselves to the church. So that's why I think priests and nuns in Samoa have so much respect and reverence because they've chosen that path. Because it's not an easy path in our faith. And you're right. Like they call it the Great Schism in Europe, where the Protestants and the Catholics went to war over religion and prayer books. So there were priest assassins called Jesuits who would go out and hunt down Protestants that have walked a different path from our faith. But it's just sad because like I grew up with like really good priests, like they were from Ireland, and they loved rugby. We used to just always talk about rugby. Seeing this, what they're doing to Pacific, really like weighs my heart down, because I love my faith so much, and for them to do this is like, come on, man, like you gotta be fair, you gotta be transparent, man. Like if these priests are under investigation, don't hide them, man. Show them for who they are. They're not followers of our faith if they're doing this. So yeah, I do get what you're saying, Cams, and like, man, it's so disheartening, being a Catholic and whatnot. It's kind of stink buzz, But you gotta take a stand for the Pacific, man, because I know how vulnerable our communities are, and putting these predators. That's what they are. Putting these predators in our communities. It's like putting a wolf among the sheep. So yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty disconcerting when after we've have a discussion about it, after we've seen the article and we have to talk about it. It's like, shit, man. Hope nothing bad comes out of it.
Hard.
Yes.
It's
the facts, but anything that's coming out of it, we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, man. Yeah. All right, thanks, boys. Other thing on the news, so I posted up something that came out, because I'll tell you the truth, it was hard to find something this week. It was hardly anything that happened this week besides the sport. But I did find, and this is to the comment that came out on the YouTube that you mentioned before about someone talking about we should be talking about stuff that happened to to people in real life, like down on the grassroots. And I think this is it, because this concerns all of us, especially if we have kids. Education. So the government has announced that they're going to take 30 million out of the TeReo language budget in education and put it into maths, because they figured that maths is much more priority. Because according to the government, the results, only 22% of students are passing maths or equipped to be on the right level when it comes to maths, and 12% of Māori are at the level of where you're supposed to be in maths too. So those are real low numbers. And the government has said, okay, because of these low numbers, we need to put more money into maths. So I think we'll take it out of the TeReo budget, because it looks like they got 100 million, and that's twice as much as what every other language budget is. And we'll leave them with 70 million, and we'll take 30 million out of that. That's caused a ruckus, especially with Te Pati Māori. They've come out and said, no, it's wrong, and all that. They've protested about that in Parliament. Another thing that I saw in the paper was that it was all a smokescreen, because those numbers, the 22% and the 12%, the government said that those were the results of achievement levels going down, right? Whereas there was another study that said that, well, they changed the curriculum last year. So these are results of, when you change the curriculum, the next year is going to be it's not going to be the same. It's going to be low. It's going to be low because you've changed the curriculum. So now it's a different way of doing things. Of course, you're going to get low results, right? And they're saying that these low results are because they changed the curriculum last year. So you can't say it's achievement when it's the change of the curriculum. So, man. So it's like people put two and two together and say, hey, man, your numbers, that's not the right excuse here.
Yeah.
You're taking 30 million out for the wrong reasons. So, yeah, man. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
Like, a few things come to mind. Is like, why TeReo Maori? Is there another subject that they can cut the budget on? Because I feel like TeReo Maori is pretty important, especially for people in New Zealand that have grown up with Maori lineage but can't really reconnect to their whakapapas. It's pretty good to revive the language. It may not be an important language around the world, but it is important in New Zealand. So, especially for our young, like, it's good to learn the language of the land. Luxon's saying it's more important. Or, no, what the Minister of Education said was more important. You can only view that from a perspective, Maths is important, but TeReo Maori is also important in a different way, culturally, spiritually, and your lineage to your maunga. Yeah, we need to focus on maths, but at the same time, do we need to take it out of TeReo Maori? I feel like it is a bit of a smokescreen, with the coalition government moving away from TeReo Maori and more into mainstream languages and whatnot. Is it a cover? Is it a smokescreen for them to take budget away from Te Reo Māori or Māori subjects or anything that's funded for Māori? So there is a question mark there. I feel like they just it is a bit of an attack on Te Reo Māori in my perspective. Maths is important, but surely there's some other subjects where you can minimize to take that 30 million from. But yeah, those are my thoughts there.
Yeah, I agree, bro. Like the Maori language is the Maori language, bro. It's the language of the land. The Maoris were the first here. We are still walking on stolen land, man. Like, this government still doesn't have the right to sort of say how things should be done on this land. But yeah, in my perspective, I look at it like this. Like, I was watching the changing of the guard sort of in the All Blacks. They had I think it was David Kerr when he sort of was phasing out, and they made Buck Joffred a leader in the All Blacks. And I remember something so strong that when I watched it, it was like, I remember hearing as a kid, like, Buck's the reason why the All Blacks do the haka the way they do it now. And like, if you think about it, and you go as far back as before 1986, it was just guys doing a semicircle facing the crowd doing and out of timing, out of sync. Look, valea, like it was enough to make you laugh. And then always Baku said, if you want me to be a leader, I'll perform the haka. The boys are gonna understand what it means and what it is to face the haka. And so he took them to TeReo College, and they walked into a pōwhiri, and then the boys at the school, predominantly Māori, did the haka. And they're doing the haka to the All Blacks. Man, I think guys like Grant Fox, Sean Fitzpatrick, even the Wetton brothers, they had never faced a haka, but just what it did for them in that moment. And this is for the national team, right? And that's our national sport is rugby. So the fact that the government want to remove that from, like, you know, especially a language, it's pretty weak, eh? Like, leave it there, leave it for the next generation. Like, this is a time where they should be empowering the Māori to grow the numbers, right? Because that's only gonna later on, like in life, like, okay, we're the Māori doctors, we want fluent Māori doctors. That's gonna help that, cause that's gonna lift all their stats, you know. But killing it, like it's like watering the plants, man. You start removing all the stuff that the plants need to grow, they're not gonna survive, man. It's like, and that affects so many things apart from just education. But it starts with the language, man. People can sing and do haka, but people want to know how to conversate in the language, you know. And you want that to survive. I think it's just shameful for this government to go and cut anything Māori. Even like, cause they start cutting the Māori stuff, they'll cut the Pacifica stuff as well. Like Wix like side by side, man. So nah, they shouldn't be doing that at all, man. With the math and stuff, it's like, man, if a kid doesn't want to do math, that's on them. But you know, you only need a basic sort of knowledge of math these days, unless you're taking it and it's what required for your work and stuff. But like I said, man, earlier, people can't even read a measure tape. There's like a whole lot of builders that still don't know how to read a measuring tape. Now they're using lasers and like the rest of it, you know. And we're just reading numbers, but it's a pretty weak. If they were cutting the fund and moving it into something else that was Māori, or like into infrastructure that was in the outer skirts in the small Māori communities, that would be cool. But 100%. To go and do it and move it towards fucking something not related, it's like, you know, that's stupid, man.
Yeah.
Like, for the next segment, like for the next part, if they go into power, like, people are going to be questioning that shit. Like, first they've removed the patches, now they're removing the stuff from Māori. Like, what else are they going to do, you know? Like, if they go and do, like how they did this the other week, got everyone to start doing a hikoi from Westgate and kill the traffic. This country could do it, man. Like, I just finished watching like a 24 years since George Spate did the coup in Fiji. It's iconic to the Fijian people now, and it's the natives, right? So imagine if the Māoris went and did that, and they did it, and they strangled this coalition party, bro. They'd have the power to do it. There's a lot more Māoris here than anywhere else in the world, so it's crazy that this government seems like they're going to have a coup coming their way, because it almost feels that way, you know, for the stuff that they're doing. Well, that's my 5 cents, bro. It's just probably reading too much into it, but man, who knows? You never know. You never know.
You know what? I think you guys touch on something that I totally agree with, man. And for me, man, I don't buy it. I don't buy the decision to take that money out, because, you know, there's a reason why it's 100 million grand. I mean, 100 million. There's a reason why. It's because we need it. TeReo Maori is needed. See, when I was at school, grew up, like, we didn't have that. We had that class as an option, but, you know, we didn't really have that class, and we didn't even really learn it. I mean, we know the basic small talk stuff, but not the in depth stuff. And even now, like, as an adult, like, I've forgotten them, really. And the only time I hear TeReo is on the news, right, when they did the introductions and in the language and TV1 News, and those stuff is good. That stuff is really good, you know, because it reminds you where we're at. You know, we're walking on stolen land. It reminds you of that, you know, and the whole diversity thing when it comes to Māori and mainstream media. It's all good. It's all good. I've got no problem with that. Even changing the names of the places to Māori when they used to have English names. Even the debate before about changing New Zealand to Aotearoa. Like, man, I welcome that. I welcome that. I mean, it's not going to affect anything other than remind us where we are in this country. Remind us why we're here and what land we're walking on. It's a good thing for the identity of this country. and it's a good thing for everybody that lives here or adopts this country as their own. It's that identity that we really need. But there's a lack of that in our system, right? And there's a reason why it's 100 million budget. There's a reason why it's there, because it's needed, right? Now you're going to put more money into subjects that have been there for forever, since time of memoriam. Like I grew up with maths, English, social studies, PE. These are the standard subjects we grew up at school. And so what's the problem? Like, we use maths every day. We're not conscious of it, but we use it. And there's nothing wrong with that. What's wrong with that? Why do we need extra money in something that we're already doing at school? Like, what? Why does maths need? Why is the results down on maths? Why? Is it because you need more resources? But how can we need more resources when maths is in every single subject at every single school in this country up until your 7th form, or up until you don't have to choose it when you're 7th form, right? I think it finishes at 5th form or 6th form. Now it's a choice. You can either choose calculus or statistics. Yeah. But up until then, you don't really need it, right? You have a choice, right? So all the basics are done. So why does that need 30 million for resources? Now, I don't believe it's resources. I just believe if maths is a problem with kids these days, then maybe it's the environment rather than, and that's an easy fix. Just make the teachers teach maths in a more exciting way, or I don't know, like, make it more engaging. Like back when I was at school, science was my worst subject because I thought it was boring. Like, I didn't understand it. But now, as an adult, I love science because I want to know how things work. And I wish that I concentrated in class when I knew all about that stuff. So, yeah, I don't buy the whole. I think, again, it's a political decision to move money around and to put TeReo Maori as the one that gets, the money taken out of. And I think they're not going to put that 30 million into maths when they already have it. They're going to put that 30 million into something else, or they budgeted everything in their budget to get the votes. Now they're going to make things right, spreading the money out to where it should have been in the first place. So, yeah, man, I don't buy it. And
it's divisive language, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And plus that thing about having these stats sort of, because it was 22% and 12%. The problem with that stat is the stat is a year after they changed the curriculum on maths. So how can you? So it's not an achievement thing. It's a structural thing. Because these results are because of the change of curriculum last year, not because the kids were like not doing well in maths anymore. So the public is misled on that. So that's not the excuse, and they're not telling us what the excuse is. So it's something else. So yeah, man, it's just one of the, I don't know, bullshit that's going on with this government again. That's why, man, just gotta always rethink or second guess or know what's going on to understand, like, if this is the right decision or not. And right now, man, everything that comes out of this government's mouth, for me, okay, what's the real reason? You gotta always question it. Who's it gonna benefit? The national voters. It's always been national voters. If you're that type of person that votes national, then you're probably on a better situation than most of the country, right? And what if you're gonna vote for national? It's gonna benefit yourself and your family if you're on that same level as that. So, yeah,
exactly.
So we'll just see. We'll see what's gonna happen.
With the outcome.
Yeah, see what the outcome is. Good friend of the pod, MTL Clip, Filippo, he's put up a couple of articles on the Facebook page. One is about the government, again, talking about how they want to send all their service workers to work at home, because apparently a lot of them, because I know a lot of people that work for council and for government, and a lot of them still work from home, man. A lot of them still work from home, and the government's calling them for them to get back into the office. And yeah, so I don't know. I think if you read what Filippo said on the post, he just said that, hey, if it's working, why change it again? There's always these benefits of working from home. I think it's up to the person there But I don't know if the boss can force you to move back into office if your production hasn't decreased or anything. But
Exactly.
yeah, what are you guys' thoughts on that?
I think on the post, they said, if you can meet your quota, why change? If you're exceeding the expectations, why change? But I feel like the government wants these people to go back into the cities just to revive the city centers, because them staying home, a lot of the cafes, the restaurants in town, Uber drivers, taxi drivers, buses, trains, they've seen that there's certain cut down on traffic, especially after COVID. So I think the government's trying to do that trickle down effect, where if they bring more people to the city centres, they'll buy their lunches, they'll spend money on transport, and they'll trickle down and cause like a mini economy to boost up in the city centres. But the thing is, these people that have been working at home and meeting their quotas or exceeding their quota numbers, they're budgeting as well. They're okay. I'm saving on food. I'm cooking from home. I'm spending more time with my kids. This is a better lifestyle. So yeah, you just gotta. It's a hard balance, eh? Whether to bring them to work, bring them to the office, sorry, and let that trickle down effect work if it even does work, or let them stay home and they got a better work office. They're spending more time with their family. They're saving money. It's a real hard one. It's a real sticky situation. I can definitely see both sides, but I feel if you're meeting the quota, just stay home, man. But yeah, it's a hard one. How about you? Let's.
Yeah, well, because through lockdown, I didn't get the luxury of getting to stay home. I was an essential worker, and we were like sort of forced to work no matter what. No, I agree with you. I think it needs to be. I think on a base by base maybe sort of thing. Not everyone in the workplace's situation would be the same. Whether or not that's gonna boost the economy or not, like by fully putting bumps on seats in cafes and stuff. I don't know. I would think that the government would sort of like ease off on this, because I remember scientifically they took a sign. I took a photo of Auckland during lockdown, before and after, and just the amount of smog and pollution in the air, and you couldn't see the street. Like that was from one of the satellites. At the moment that they started it, man, you could see everything. The skies were blue. Like, wouldn't they use this as a moment to sort of say, oh, it's better for the economy because there's less pollution in the air? Like, worrying about like global warming and stuff like that. But I think them jumping on this was sort of like just I don't know. It's like a flex, eh? A flex to sort of throw their power around or try and say, hey, this is the final date. Be there, or don't, or deal with the consequence that comes with it later. So yeah, I reckon it's just a flex. Whether a company or businesses in the public sector will decide whether it works for them or not, I think that's a conversation to have with their staff. But no, I wouldn't rush into getting people to come and work in base if they don't need to.
And I don't buy it. I don't buy it again. I mean, and I take the American point of view of this. Like, when it comes to those businesses that are suffering because no one's hanging around, fuck them. Like, fuck them. If you can't adapt to the situation, then you shouldn't be in business. I mean, I'm serious. Like, it's like, okay, COVID happened, and everyone had to work from home, and then people realized sometimes it's better to work from home because, like you said, like we always said, like it's good for your mental health if you can do two things at once. If if you got a family, now you can spend time with the kids. You can do your work. If none of that affects your work, then there shouldn't be anything wrong with it. Right? As soon as it affects your work, then yeah, okay, then there's negotiation and there's something that needs to be done, but that's up to the boss and the employee, right? But that can be worked out. I mean, I think there could be more more work into the results that come out of workplaces to see what happens when people work from home, if production goes up or production goes down, but it can be dealt with accordingly when it happens. But I think this move by the government to actually tell people to tell these departments to get the employees to come back to work, I think that is dangerous, because you can't tell people what to do, and you can't tell businesses what to do. And when businesses see this, they're gonna think, okay, maybe they're right. I'm gonna tell my employees to come home, without thinking it might be the best or not thing to do. I mean, you can't influence private business with that, because I see a lot of benefits with working from home, right? And sometimes these benefits working from home can actually bring the production up, because your employees are more happy to work for you now. They're more happy to work for you now. Yeah, that's why I think it's dangerous for the government to actually say that, to say this kind of thing, because it's up to each business to do what think is right for their own business without the influence. So I think that's the dangerous part about it. But yeah, man, if I, because we are work, we have to go back. So there's no. I think you can only work from home if you're sick, when you're not sick that you could not work, but you just stay at home just to not spread your cough around. You can't work from home, and that, or your kid is sick and there's no one to look after your kid staying home, so you gotta stay home too, and you can work from home. I think those are the only things you can do working from home. But yeah, man, I just think there's a lot of benefits from working from home, and I think that if there are problems around it, then man, human beings can adapt. Man, you can adapt. I mean, sure, cafes can get a little bit not busy and not make money, but there's Uber Eats. There's technology that helps people to work from home, and plus the whole saving money thing. That's a big deal. I mean, I think you spoke about the trickle down effect, but I think trickle down effect only works if the higher ups are trickling down. I think this type of thing is horizontal past a horizontal effect, because the trickle down is not coming from the top; it's coming sideways from the same people.
Yeah, coming from the
From the workers.
It's coming from the people who need the shouts, not don't want to put the shouts on for them. I was like, fuck, come on, man. Look at these guys,
Yeah,
man.
man.
These
Yeah,
guys
I
are
know.
looking at the scale, they're looking at the graph the wrong way, man. Like, people want pay rises, bro. If they're saying we're going for a recession, like, what makes people are gonna be like, fuck, bro, you haven't even been pay rise for the last 2 years. Fucking, you want us to spend money at the cafe, just put their prices up. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. And you got to look at the benefits for some businesses too, because after COVID lockdown, a lot of businesses downgraded the office space because they knew they could still function with people working from home. So they were like saying, okay, I don't need 200 workstations enough. I just need like half, and half can work from home, and we can still function. So the businesses can save money on office space. And on the other side of that, if you're working from home, maybe your power bill goes up, because you're working from home. So, there's give and take. But then you look at what comes good after that is, the mental health side of things, the flexibility of getting your shit done, home shit done, and your work shit done at the same time. And I think that makes a happy employee, and it makes 9 to 5 a gray area now. I remember when I was working from home during lockdown, it wasn't 9 to 5; it was sort of like 24/7, because you can work whenever you want, right? If I was tired about 3 o'clock, I'll just don't do anything, and then if I was into it, I'll do work again from 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock. You can fill in the gaps if you had nothing to do. So instead of 9 to 5, when you're just stuck at the office, now you got the whole day to do the job. So is that flexibility? Is that flexibility that's pretty cool. But yeah, I think to help the cafes and have more people on the streets walking around just for image, that's not a good enough excuse, man. I think businesses, if they're struggling, they have to adapt, man. Like everyone else has to adapt.
Bro,
Like,
100%.
Creativity happens when you're struggling, man. Like struggle for a little bit and see what you can do. You
'Cause even
might
in the video
invent something. You might invent something that makes you $1 billion one day.
Because in the video clip they did show like business owners at the end, like cafe owners, saying that this was a good move on the government. Yeah.
Just him. Anyway. Another thing Filippo posted up was so the headhunters in Christchurch, they sold their pad 378k, and those are not Auckland prices. So I don't know what the prices are down in Christchurch, but I guess they're a little bit similar. But that sounds cheap to me, man. 378k, and I guess that's because of the market. Like, who wants to buy a gang pad? You know, if you got that sort of money, look into a house.
Yeah.
But I think they were wrong making it 378. They should have made it normal price, because remember the other story, the other couple, they found that
Well, their money.
200k and everyone's gonna try to go for this house now. They were man, there must be a million K stashed around this property.
But it makes you wonder: is there a million K, or is there like $1 million worth of bones just buried underneath the back deck or something like that? You never know. What it's like. The only guys gonna know is whether he's an Asian developer and he's gonna go there and Ellie up all the VAL and put like apartment townhouses there, and he just realizes like, oh shit, that guy's got a hole in his skull. You know.
I watched too much Unsolved Mysteries to even think about buying this place.
Wow. Yeah, but whoever buys it will obviously buy it for the lot, eh? Probably demolishing.
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't be trying to live in it, like, especially if it's been a medicine.
Yeah. So I wonder who bought it, eh?
But that's cheap though, like compared to today's market, like that's probably less than half of probably what it's worth.
Yeah. So that was a little thing that came out on the Facebook page. Thanks, Filippo, for that.
Filippo.
That's about it, eh, for the topics. So we get into some Fia Poko of the week.
Oh man. You know what? I'm just gonna leave it to one Fia Poko of the week, and this is it's a throwback, man. It's a throwback. And it's obviously posted from Nan's. Oh, can't even say that. Nan's Dean, and it's a TikTok. So apparently a mom obviously must have rung home for something and got the guy to come and drop it off to work. And apparently the guy dropped off a frozen chicken to his mum's work. Like, what? I posted this and said, someone reach for the phone and just give this guy an uppercut, man, because who shows up to your a frozen chicken? Like, what's your mum? Is your mum a chef? Like, she's obviously like hard working wherever she is, but he drops off a frozen chicken, man. And I couldn't understand the audio, but I just realized this guy's like lying on the couch with no shirt on, looking at her like, huh? But yeah, that's just crazy. Did you manage to pull that one up, Apples?
I can't find it. Scrolling.
Should be the second one on.
It's relevant. Oh, recent. Yeah, got it. Okay, yeah, here it is.
Why? Like, I don't know if you can compete with that one, Woos, because I would be beside myself, Woos. Beside myself, man. There's another Fia Poko here, and he's obviously done like a life, or he's probably done like a whole marathon, and it's just, it looks like it's clocking up 13 hours, 30 minutes and 56 seconds, and like, he's there, bro. He's literally there, man. He's home free, like, in another like maybe 5 or 10 steps, he's gonna have completed the marathon. But instead of just going straight through the rope, he tries to hit the board, like the top of the board, and it's just like, why the fuck would you do that? Like, that is, of all things that could go wrong, man. So he's like right there, goes up and taps it, bro. And then he pivot his leg there, and he's like just short. Like, I think someone crosses before him, man. But like, I can't make this stuff up, eh? But like, he didn't need to do. It was unnecessary, eh?
Yeah,
unnecessary, man. All he had to do was just fall over for forward, and like, he was the man. But you know what? I'm just gonna go touch the backboard and just see, fucking, bro. The way he landed was just like said it all, man. What Fia Poko, man. But those are the two Fia Pokos, man. Like, I'll leave it to you so you can pick, and then I'll check. I think we got two you light on your CV, yeah.
I'm going for that kid, man. That's
the kid, yeah.
Leo, man.
This, I mean, unless something happened to him when he was a kid, probably. I don't know what's wrong with him, man.
But also the mum, the mum and all the co-workers were like, hey, remember when your son brought that chicken for me?
Oh shit!
Like,
Yeah.
bro, that's the biggest shame. She's gonna remember that, bro.
Is that where you got a lunch?
Yeah.
Fuck.
What do you teach your son? Oh, bro.
Yeah, hard out.
So I got a
That's just
couple
shame.
of entries for the when you light on your CV, man.
Yep.
Yo.
And this one here, I thought was, bro, this is unique because they're obviously civil guys just doing work on the side of the highway. And obviously someone goes, bro, I just ordered my lunch, man. And it's how he goes, oh, bro, I ordered a sub delivery. So I told the guy I'll wait with a white bag just to chuck it out the window as he drives past. So the Uber's obviously seen his location and said, sweet, bro. So the unfortunate part about the guy holding the bag is that his mate standing behind him said, oh, bro, yeah, I'll record it. And whoever the delivery driver is, fuck. As you can imagine, like anything that's standing still isn't moving, but obviously you're going like a certain speed, right? And fucking his timing was off. He should have chucked it like 10 meters earlier, eh? But yeah, his poor mate recording got the brunt of it. So,
Man,
yeah,
he didn't read the call. He didn't read the call. He went to the wrong receiver.
Man. And then the last one on, I don't know if it's still available, but it's a guy cutting down it looks like a palm tree, eh?
Oh, yeah.
And oh shit.
Is it
So we got
gone?
a comment from Phil saying, skill, the tree location, experience dismantling Christmas trees on New Year's Day. So I think the link would have made it disappear.
I think it's gone.
Yeah. Wow. But no, he actually cuts down the palm tree, and what happens is, you probably heard me talk about it. You cut at a 30, I think it's a 30-70, and the last cut is usually 10 degrees from the back. So he's got a palm tree right on the boundary line. It's like a meter from the boundary line, but between two houses. And as he's cut his 30, he's cut his 70, then he goes to cut the back. Well, his 30 must have been off, because instead of the tree falling to the right, fuck, it falls behind him, man. And then my lap is the house next door, and the fence, and the like what looks like their carport. But it's like, oh goodness me.
But then you know how you cut that V? Aren't you supposed to cut it like opposite to where you don't want it to fall?
No, so the first initial cut needs to be flat. So when you cut the 70 out, when you cut the 70 degree out, that will fall away. So it should be strong enough to still be upright. But it's when you do that last cut, that 10 will then sort of like cut it uneven, so the chainsaw shouldn't break, and then it will fall the way it's being cut. Like the bird's mouth, so the bird's mouth like that, the tree should fall like that.
Yeah.
When you put the last cut in. So he obviously hasn't cut this part, right? And it's too straight. So when he's cut it, it's just gone back the other way.
Yeah.
So, I laugh, bro. Like that. Even when he cut it, he fucked up because the guys were trying to pull the tree towards them, and they already seen it like going towards him. They're like, oh. Damn, bro, what an expensive lesson, eh? Like, fuck. Can't make that shit up, man. Yeah, but I don't know how long that guy had been cutting trees though. Shucks.
Expensive mistake, man.
Yeah, expensive mistake, man. Oh, that was the last of our see you later on your CV.
Oh yeah. Anyone deserves the upcut of the week award this week?
I said the kid that brought the chicken.
Yeah.
Wow.
The kid.
So, the mum was about to uppercut
He
him.
walks in, but he's like, well, casual like this, like, what do you have to do? Is drop mum off some lunch? She walks in.
Man.
She should have just uppercut him with the chicken, eh?
Yeah.
Fuck.
There's a reason why the video went short.
Give my award to the government. Yeah, some of these incentives aren't really incentives.
No.
What you think it might be is not. We got a award to give? Let's.
No, just it'd be the mum, man. Bro, she should have bought the chicken and whacked the boy with the freaking chicken, man. I would have just waited for him. Where's Josh? He's in the room, and like if he was sleeping, I would have went bang on his head. Is that why you call it a lunch? And recorded it like that. Is that why you call it a lunch? You chop off the chicken and it's a frozen chicken. It's stupid, man.
100, man.
Hey, boys, I've got a fight of the week, so who gets knocked down in this one? So the situation is there's a poolside. It's poolside, right? It's poolside, and it's two teenage boys. One's small and one's big. The big guy is like twice the size of the small guy, right? who wins this one. They're in their swimming togs, and they're about to throw down.
I feel like I'm gonna go for the small guy. I think like this might be a David Goliath situation.
I'm
Yeah.
going for Teddy Longlegs. Going
Yeah.
for the Teddy Longlegs. Watch those kicks. Watch those kicks.
I was wrong last week, so hopefully this week was redemption.
Okay, let's share the screen.
Oh,
Who's bleeding?
Ooh. That's hard to judge, hey, who won that fight, because they both got like one good hit each. Controversial. I think that was a draw.
The draw.
Draw?
I think go for the draws.
I actually thought the big guy got rocked.
Yeah.
And they had to stop it. The ref had to jump in and stop it.
Oh man.
Right, boys. Yeah, man. Shall we get into food review? Like I said, so yeah, man. Like I said, lunch yesterday. Me and the missus and the son went out to the viaduct, just have a walk around because it was a nice day, man. I woke up in the morning, Saturday morning, looked outside when the sun was up, blue sky. I was like, damn, that was a nice day to do something because we had no plans. So I thought, let's go have lunch down. Let's go around the viaduct, just walk around, have lunch. Haven't been there in a long time. It's pretty good down there, eh? Now there's that little. It's only small, but between where Providore is and the ferry building, there's like an extended sort of deck going out over the water. There's like it's like a little sit down eating area or sit down and walk little park area. Yeah, man, I never saw that. That's pretty cool. But anyway, we went down to check out Whalburgers. That's Mark Wahlberg's restaurant in the States, and I think he's got a few overseas, but they opened this one in Auckland last year, I think, early last year. And I don't think if you guys been there, but I remember the opening and that on social media and on the news. And I always thought, I want to go try it out, but never got around to it. So I think yesterday was the chance to just go check it out. And yeah, man, it's at the viaduct. It's alongside, if you walk across the side of where the Hilton is, it's along there facing the water. And yeah, man, first time I've been there, looks like American drawing, eh? It's like, it's all green because he's from Massachusetts. I think he's from Boston, so he's a big Boston Celtics fan. So that's why it's green. Chairs, white tables. And the thing I like about it is like looks like a sports bar because there's TVs everywhere. There's like booths, like in the States. There's booths. There's also outdoor area where you can sit down and eat. There's also a bar area where there's chairs at the bar too. I love that. You know, New Zealand doesn't have this culture where there's chairs at the bar. You go into any bar, there's no chairs there. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, so if you're by yourself, who am I supposed to sit with? The group and all these tables? You know, so it's a bit antisocial way when it comes to drinking culture and, pub culture in New Zealand. There's no seats at the bar. So when I saw seats at the bar at this place, I was happy. Yeah, it was good because, you know, you can come down by yourself, sit down, talk to the bartender, watch the game on the big screen, have a beer and go home, you know. And so when I saw that, it was pretty good. But yeah, so I ordered so they had a list of burgers there. They had the Aotearoa burger, Kiwi burger. I didn't want to get that because I wanted to eat what's like all over the place, what's in every Whalburgers restaurant around the world. So stuck to the standard one, eh?
Yeah.
Stuck to the standard one. Also ordered onion rings. Also some chicken wings, some buffalo wings, chicken salad, and fries. So that was for the whole table. But what was interesting, they don't have a menu, eh? You got to go in and you got to scan your phone. There's like a scanner thing on each table. And you scan your phone and you pay on your phone. So you scan the thing, you check your phone, and then there's a menu shows up on your phone. You pick what you want and you pay on your phone. And it's already got your table number. So they just come and just give you your food and drink. So I thought, you know, if you're an old person coming to this place, you'll be struggling. Because it's pretty tech, it's pretty high tech. And I think that talks to probably in America right now, because America is way ahead when it comes to technology and service, hospitality and all that. So it's probably a normal thing for them, but it's probably a new thing for us, you know, when we do that sort of thing. But It was funny because I actually, you actually had to register your name and all that. I was like, fuck, just give me a menu, man. Like, so I went inside, asked for a menu. They said, oh no, we don't have one. But here's an iPad. You can just press the buttons on the iPad and pay for it on the iPad. So he gave me the iPad, came out and I ordered. Yeah, so it's yeah, it's pretty it's different, eh? It's different. But no, man, the food out of 5, probably give it a 3.5 out of 5. The burger was nice pickle, had tomato, lettuce, cheese. The patty was good. The bread was good. The bun was like the steam bun, no? Steam bun. It was soft too. Yeah, it was nice. But then, like, there's a lot of nice burger joints around now. They all, taste similar. So there was nothing special about this one. It was a nice burger, but you could say the same for a nice burger at a lot of other places too, huh? That's not McDonald's or a takeaway burger or something. Like Lucky G's, those burgers are nice. I think the burgers at Better Burger, they're nice too. I think all burgers are nice, but there's nothing special. Like they're probably on the same level as all these other new burger places, right? So yeah, I think it's good. A bit pricey, but the bar is good. I think it's a good place to go if you want to watch the game or something like that, and you want a burger, or if you want to sit down and have a quiet evening lunch and look at the waterfront. But yeah, that's my review.
Yo, sick.
Hungry now. I want to go. You feel like a burger.
We boys, shall we move into what we been watching? Let's go, Eddie.
Yo, haven't been watching much really. Just watching just docos on YouTube about the Menendez brothers. Man, pretty shocking, eh? How they murdered their parents and like, was it out of self-defense or was it purely just for the money? So, I've just been watching that. Just watching little clips here and there from back in the past. But yeah, nothing much for me this week. How about you, Let's?
I managed to watch. No, just carry on watching my Cooking with Brenna, the full family over in the States. I think they relocated from Seattle to I forgot, but they're currently on holiday in South Carolina. So I'll be watching their videos. Be watching a lot of podcasts. The Dom guy, the one who used to be on radio. His interview with Sir Graham Henry and one that he did with Michaela Blight. But no, I watched a bit of that the McMahon last night. It was pretty interesting. It was a good watch. I think there were 5 or 6 episodes.
Yeah,
It's
6
pretty
episodes.
long. It's pretty long. I had to, fell in and out of consciousness probably about 3 o'clock. And then I realized, oh shit, that's right, it's daylight saving because it went from 3 to like 4. I was like, oh fuck, less than an hour. Yeah, that's a good watch. And I also started watching Tulsa King, season 2.
Have you seen season 1?
Yeah, I saw all of season 1. Yeah, no, it's pretty scary, eh? And then also that what's it called? I forgot what it was called. Justified. Primal. So I rewatched some of the last episodes that I think I missed, which is pretty good, eh? But like, if you had watched any of the Justified episodes, that's cool, man. Like the spin-off from his last take, because it was like, yeah, if you're into marshals, man, and people who are like if you like following people who like getting the job done, like that's a good episode series to watch. This last spin-off is about a federal judge who's had heaps, and he had a black book. It goes missing. A guy robs him for it, and then that becomes hot commodity on the market because everyone in that book owes the judge. So like it's either favors or stuff that they've been acquitted for. And Raylan's job was to get the book. So he's now dating or hooking up with one of the federal lawyers, and she knows who's got the book, but she's a bit of doesn't know whether to tell Raylan to go get the book or whether Raylan will be able to get the book himself. But they both know whatever's in their book is obviously running the city. So now it's been a good watch, man. Yeah, but otherwise, I haven't been watching a lot of TV. I've been falling asleep quite early. Oh, yes, I have. I lied yesterday. I think I binge watched Celebrity Treasure Island. good watch, man. But it's only because I watched that Dom's interview with Christian Cullen, because I figured he's only done a handful of them, man. And then he mentions, oh yeah, was that like after he did Treasure Island? I was like, huh? So as soon as he said it, bro, I just jumped on TVNZ and I just started watching it, man. And me and my wife caught up pretty much all the episodes right till today. So after today, can't wait to watch the rest of it tomorrow. So if you're looking for something interesting to watch about people, man, that's usually funny, eh? But yeah, that's all I've been watching. Watching you, Cams.
It's funny, because that Dom podcast, he's got some good guests that come on, eh? And the one with Christian Cullen, I think I saw a short on social media. Christian Cullen was talking about his his confronting John Mitchell.
Oh, and he's like, yeah.
It's like wanting to walk out the other side of the room or something when he shows up. But that was man, I'm reading this book right now called Black Gold, and it's about the All Blacks professional era, what goes on in the business side of things. And I just finished a chapter on John Mitchell, because All Blacks went away from because there was traditional cultural change happening in the All Blacks with Wayne Smith, because Wayne Smith took away some of the old stuff that was happening in the old school ways, like the what do you call it, the what's the thing when you have a drink after the game?
Oh, yeah.
The court sessions. He was taking those things away, and was trying to make the All Blacks more professional. And when I think he lost a couple of games against the Wallabies, and I think he got outed by NZR, and they brought in John Mitchell because John Mitchell was complete opposite. He was a hard nosed sort of. He was a coach that was old school and was hard nosed. And when he came back in, he actually brought back all that stuff. He brought back the court sessions and all that kind of stuff, like the old school stuff. And he was pretty much a disaster when it came to the marketing side of the All Blacks, because he wouldn't talk to the media, and he was like, always, he was like a dodgy kind of guy. He never talked or anything. He was just hard. He just seemed hard, and he wasn't cooperating with anything. And that was detriment to the marketing side of the All Blacks, because they had to deal with Adidas, they had to deal with commercial deals with all these sponsors, and they weren't getting anything through John Mitchell. And the book was saying that John Mitchell was actually thinking he was the man, like he was the head of the All Blacks, he was the boss of All Blacks, and he went over the heads of the NZR. So the thing, he wouldn't stick to the hierarchy, because he was supposed to report back to the hierarchy was NZR, All Blacks manager, then John Mitchell. And when John Mitchell signed the contract, he signed it knowing that he had to go through the manager, and he didn't want that. He wanted to go straight to NZR. So he used to treat the manager like shit, man, all through his tenure. Yeah, it's pretty interesting, and that kind of stuff. But I should touch more on future episodes we talk about, because yeah, man, it's really cool stuff, that stuff. But that's what reminded me when you talked about Christian Cullen, because that decision, because it was all personal with John Mitchell. He hated Christian Cullen there, and he picked Ben Tinga over Christian Cullen, and it's like for the public, it's like, hey, what kind of what kind of thing is that? So yeah, rugby, we didn't even do our memory lane. Shall we just do it next week?
Do it next week.
Yeah, but that was that. Another thing I watched was, like you said, I watched the McMahon. I'm up to episode 4. I love it, I love it. It's good, man. It's good, because especially the early days when you talk about how it started, how McMahon started from his dad. His dad was the one that was doing it, and then he took over his dad.
Met his dad for the first time, man.
Yeah.
12 years old. He
12
lived in
years old,
Trailer
yeah.
Park. He's pretty much a self-made millionaire, man. And the direction he took, and it was the commentator, right? He didn't show up. He wanted to get paid more. He didn't show up, and that's when Vince got his gig. He was like,
Yeah.
And then
His dad said, "Nah, you go do it."
Laugh at everyone else again, bro. He was shit at commentary. I was like, man, he was kaya. It's good watch, man.
Yeah, it's good. And like I said on the chat, it reminded me of when I was into wrestling, because I was into wrestling when it first came out, and it sort of makes sense, because I remember when wrestling first came out to New Zealand, it was in the 80s. I was still in primary school, and it was big, man. It was big time. And I remember trying to follow up 'cause I think it was 1988 in New Zealand when wrestling came to New Zealand. But when you watch the documentary, it talks about how he invented WrestleMania and he wanted to be in a big event like the Super Bowl. So did WrestleMania, that was a big hit. WrestleMania 2 was a big hit, but not as good as WrestleMania 1. Then they came back with WrestleMania 3. WrestleMania 3 was a smash hit, and that's what took WWF to the whole world. And then I think that's because of WrestleMania 3, it came down to New Zealand after that, So I think because we never got WrestleMania 3, we started in New Zealand with WrestleMania 4. And that was with Hulk Hogan and Macho Man versus Andre Giant and the $1 Million Man.
That's right.
It was
That's
that
all
time,
the way.
and the Barber, Brutus the Barber. But I think that's the year that it came to New Zealand after WrestleMania 3 put them on the map. So I think my thing with wrestling started from them, and I think I was into it until WWF was going down, before WCW came into the picture. Because I think when you watch the documentary, it shows WWF was on the rise, and then McMahon was in like some court trouble with the steroids. It was the steroid stuff.
Yeah, the steroids.
So they were in trouble with wrestlers having steroids, and so WWF was coming down, and that's probably when I stopped. I started not to get into wrestling anymore, and that's when the birth of WCW came up, and they were taking all the old guys from WWF. Yeah. So, but it was interesting to see why things happened the way they did. So it was pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I'm in there, Mr. McMahon.
Anyone that had a love for wrestling, bro, like this is for someone as old as he is to still recall it the way it was in his head, and like from his own eyes, you need to see the amount of wrestlers that saw Vince as the father figure of the sport, and like and how long they stuck around for the WWF. It's like you need to say a lot, But it's cool how I think The Rock's been sharing a lot of that information as well, like just how he's part of the TKO group as well now, and like how he's a board member and why he was the superstar he was. Because even when we got saw a little snippet of The Rock just saying when he asked for the $2 million, he wanted double what Steve Austin was on, and he goes, "Nah, come and learn the business, and I'll show you." And then that's how you'll know how much you'll be able to earn. And so when he started today, and he went back, he goes, "Fuck, I won't ask for half, or maybe I'll ask for like 1.5." And he goes, "Oh, you'll make $15 million in this business if you stay around long enough." But look at where the Rock is now, Like he's on the board, so
Yeah. And you think about where Vince McMahon is now, like he's the guy that's given us WWF wrestling when we were kids. He's the one that sort of started it all and sort of put it into popular culture the way it is now, how we remember it. So he's a big part of why we like wrestling in the first place. And to see him going through that stuff of the sexual harassment court stuff, and women having coming out, taking him to court and all of that. All of that is unacceptable stuff, right? It's sort of like the same as all these well-known celebrities that have a lot of money and have come down through sex scandals and all that kind of stuff, like R. Kelly, or more recently, Puff Daddy. But with Vince McMahon, even though we don't agree with any of that shit, at least Vince McMahon has respect of the people that work for him. Hey, like all the wrestlers, like even he had bad blood with Hulk Hogan when he went to WCW. They still have that respect for him. They still see him as like the father figure, and like he took care of them, and you can see how he took care of them. The Undertaker doesn't say anything bad about him. Undertaker says that without him, I wouldn't be here where I am. And people have said that he's taking care of their families and stuff like that. And that's like the opposite of what you hear with Puff Daddy. With Puff Daddy, he's done nothing good to anybody. If you think about it, other than give us the music, right? Like you saw the video with Cassie, him beating her up in the hotel, and it's like, what the fuck, man? So you can't believe anything he says. But I think there's bad sides to everybody, and I think the sexual stuff is is crossing the line, and you can't forgive him for anything like that if if it comes out, because you can't deny it doesn't happen. Because why would it not happen if all these women have come out?
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, I think with a lot of money and a lot of power comes a lot of responsibility, like Spider-Man. But sometimes you just temptation. Temptation is a fucking bitch, man. Hey, like when you got that much money, that much power, you think you're above the law. You can do anything you want. So that's a flaw, and that's a temptation for all these people, man. They have to learn a lesson. But as far as him being the greatest promoter ever, do you guys agree?
Yeah. He'd be one of them.
Yeah, it'd be up there, but only because wrestling, only because. Oh, I feel like if you gave him a title, you'd have to call him I don't know if it's a fair comparison, but you'd have to call him like the godfather of promoters, only because he was the one who wasn't afraid to step into the territories. Like you think about the way the mobs run, like New York and America, and that. Like there's no business that takes place over the other side of the bridge if you're from Staten Island, But because he didn't give a fuck, he was like, nah, this is gonna go global, and he was willing to do it. Man, he got a lot of guys in knickers in a twist by saying, nah, mate. And then he started taking all the superstars from their wrestling and putting them into one. I was like, bro, that was global, Like, that was probably the best. He was the guy who took the risk, Like, bringing Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant to, like, the WF. Like, bro, and to have everyone else join forces. That's what makes it, like, man, we would never have known all of that if we didn't watch this, you know what I mean? We would have just assumed, oh, they had a trial, oh, those guys, yeah, but no, it was never like that at all. It was like, the main cards were the main cards for a reason. The following came, especially when he gave Hulk Hogan his name. Like, shit, like, we didn't know that. Like, for him to say, oh, you're Hulkamania, bro, you're Hulk Hogan, like, bro, that's cool.
That's the best thing about this documentary. It's a lot of insight. A lot of things that we never knew. But it makes sense now when you watch the documentary.
Yeah.
Like, well, why did superstars of wrestling how did superstars of wrestling get to New Zealand? It's because after WrestleMania 3, that's how popular it was. That's how much more audiences came into to watch wrestling after WrestleMania 3.
Yeah, I think I got to go back and watch it again. So I fell asleep through some of it, but I want to watch it. Like, I want to make sure that the Rock's and then I get to her flowers, because I don't know if she did.
Good boys. It's a wrap with another episode. There's some last words, Scary.
Last words, man. Be positive, but be humble. Like, man, just being chilling with my mates this whole week, Like, man, just trying to bring in that positivity, but also being humble at the same time, Don't ever overdo things as well. So yeah, just grinding, Just keeping your head down, man. That's the main one, But yeah, how about you, Let's?
I had something ready to go, but I couldn't find it. But I think this is a take for all parents as well, and especially for kids, man. Like, I gotta say, like, this generation is different from many generations, And I think this is on the back of seeing what's his name, the Spaniard, talking about how kids are so distant from their grandparents now. Like, but I just want to, like, any parents that are listening, and like, you can, just as long as you're doing your best that you can do for your family, it's a lot. Like, that's as long as when you come home and you go to bed that you're putting in the effort, like your best, no one else's best, like your own best. But in saying that, like, with kids, like, man, appreciate your parents, man. Like, your parents aren't here forever. Like, I don't have the luxury of just picking up the phone and calling both my parents. But I feel like this generation can get caught up with the all the technology and just everything on social media, that they forget, like, hey, man, your parents are still alive. Like, enjoy them while they're here. If you got grandparents, enjoy them while they're still here, man. Because one day, when they get the invitation to leave this life, man, like, that's something that you're gonna wish you had more time of, Yeah, but those are my last words, man. You know what it is. Didn't I love it? Get late.
Thank you.
Thank you, boys. Man, always good to have you guys on. My last words, man. Just have a good week, everybody, and don't get up to anything unsafe.
Yeah.
And I'll see you boys here next week, man, for another round of Empty Out the Clip. And go Penrith. Penrith Panthers.
Charlie.
So to be positive, be humble, especially to my brother, man. He's a hardcore Penrith supporter. So that goes out to you, Leo.
If they
I'm just saying that because of the Samoans in the team. So
Yo,
yeah, go Penrith. And hopefully we get the Toa Samoa team we wanted after that when they named the squad for England.
Oh man, hard. Let's go, Payne.
yo,
Yo, let's get the fuck out of here.
yo. Take
Take use.